Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you how you can get the Alone Against the World achievement in Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. Let's just get straight into it. First off, you want to go ahead and click on Skirmish. From here you want to put yourself on the defending team, and the rest of the 7 AI, you want to put them on the attacking team. From here you want to go ahead and select your map, the 80 Years War, press on OK, and of course you need to select 8 players in order to have 7 other AI to play against with. As per the achievement's description, we're going to need to play on hard difficulty. For the game speed, in this video we're going to play on medium, but it also works on slow and fast. And next we're going to play with the recommended settings, and finally I'm going to be playing with the British. And here is my deck for this particular achievement if you'd like to take it down. And from here we're just going to go ahead and press play. Now, of course, if you can't be bothered doing this achievement legitimately, you just type in tuck tuck tuck, get a few of these Tominators outside your base, or ravage the enemy bases, whatever you want, and in the space of about 25 minutes, less if you're playing on fast difficulty, you'll get this achievement with no problem. However, this is not the point of this video, so I'm going to show you how you can get it legitimately. Okay, so straight away, we're going to bring our 2 docks over to the north side of the map. We're going to place down 2 docks. And we're going to start our fish boom. Next, we're going to select our deck, and we're going to bring out 3 settlers. From here, we're going to bring out our explorer as well, and get a few treasures going. And of course, we're going to be training a few settlers. Now, with these 6 settlers we've got, I'm going to put 5 on the back line, so we can start gathering wood for our fishing ships. And next we're going to set our advanced dock, so we can build fishing ships faster. Now it's important to note as well that... Hold on, let me just get this treasure real quick. So you've got 2 markets in your bases that will generate passive resources over time. And with this, it will also increase over time. So the longer you can stay alive, essentially, the more resources you're going to get. And in the late game, I believe it gets to about 12 or so resources a second. Apart from this 0.25 gold, that's just stationary for the entirety of the game. But the rest is pretty high in terms of how much resources you get. And you have 2 of these, so it's essentially double, which is great for us. So from here, we've got our 2 docks. We're going to keybind these real quick, and from here we're just going to mass our fishing ships. And next we've got this treasure. We're going to get a few more. Now, you don't need to build houses because we've got a population of 305, so we're fine with that. Next we're going to go ahead and get schooners. So our fishing boats are cheaper, and they also build faster, which is going to be great for our little fish boom. And we're also going to get that fishing upgrade. Next I'm going to hotkey the town center. I need to do these again. Okay, cool. And we've got 3 trading posts that I'm going to put onto food real quick, just so we can reach the second age a bit faster. So right now we just want to get our villagers onto wood so we can continue our fishing boom. And then shortly we'll also put some onto gold. And our villagers, for the majority of this game, are just going to be focusing down on wood. So our game plan here is just to dominate the water, since the AI doesn't take much control of it. Keep gathering treasures. And we also need to build these battery towers, as these are going to be our main line of defense throughout the majority of this game, I'd say. And now, from here, we're just going to wait for this to collect this treasure. We can also age up now, and we're going to go with the Philosopher Prince, so I'm just going to remove that villager from queue. We're a little bit slow on the age up, but it's fine, it's not a big deal. I'm also going to move some fishing ships over to the corners, so that the AI, in case they do push out, they'll have to push a lot deeper in. Our explorer's dead. It's not a big problem. Next we're going to start getting some battery towers up. Now, also another interesting thing to point out is that your defense, these walls, they have no, how can I say, like, they're not yours, essentially. They're just there as an obstacle for the AI, so they can't destroy it, nor can you heal it, and the only point of access to your base is these gates, which regenerate health over time. As long as the AI isn't attacking them, of course. Now we also got our wood upgrade. Next I'm going to go for Grey Coat, in case we get raided, and we're going to continue our fish boom. It's going to move these out a little bit further out. And also keybind our trading posts. I believe I've already done that, but I removed it by accident. And next we're just going to get some more battery towers up so we can stop this aggression from the AI. Also get a villager out there just to revive our explorer, so we can use his ability. Oh, he's not ready yet. Never mind. And next we're gonna go with the adventurer. And remove those villagers from queue again. Can we get the fishing upgrade? No, not yet. And now, like I mentioned earlier, we're now getting 2 resources a second, and I just went up there. So it does go up over time, which is great for us. I'm also gonna put some fishing ships onto coin, since we need it. And get a few more fishing ships in queue. Perfect. Now, we're not going to be making any military units until we get into the 3rd age. But we will be harassed from the AI, which is not a big deal whatsoever. We're just under 20 minutes now, and we're going to go ahead and get some settlers. Okay, our explorer's back up. Let's just take this treasure quickly. Perfect. Okay, let's get a few more towers going. Let's get this fishing upgraded. Now at this point I'm going to want to get our trading posts onto wood. Not a big deal if these go down, we could just rebuild them later. It's going to be fine. The most important thing right now is just for us to get these battery towers up. We can also upgrade them once we hit the 3rd age. It's going to be nice. We don't have the resources to go straight into age 4. That's actually in our favor, which allows us to train more settlers. Okay, and now this building right here is the building you're going to want to protect for the remainder of 19 minutes that's left in this game. We're going to ship the Bank of Antwerp. And we're also going to go ahead and get Abjuration, I believe it's called. Now we have 1 trading post down. This one will probably go down along with the 3rd one. It's not a big deal. And our explorer's down again. Okay, so now that we're getting harassed by the AI, we're gonna bring our settlers back in. We're gonna put these longbowmen to deal with those musketeers. Next, we're gonna go ahead and get Austin defenses so that our battery towers are more effective. We're gonna get the bank wagon over here. So far, so good. We've got a little bit of aggression, it's not a big deal. Put this one further out. And I believe now we'll keep our settlers within the walls. We also got another shipment that we can bring in. I'm gonna bring in 8 settlers. Okay, so now we've got a huge food economy going. I'm gonna put some onto gold. And we're gonna go ahead and buy circular saw. Now from here I'm gonna build a church. Probably should have done this a little bit earlier, just to get some more XP throughout the game, but it's fine. It's not a huge problem. Gonna build... Actually, let's go ahead and build 3 barracks for the time being. Ideally we're gonna want 4. And you'll see later why exactly I'm doing this. It's a bit silly really, but... Let's some onto food, because why not? And finally, I believe this is the last... Okay, no. Okay, these are the last battery towers, so now our base is fully defended with these battery towers. And we're going to save up to get the frontier outposts. Now you can see at this point just how quickly our fishing ships are being created, which is of great benefit for us. And we're being locked now because there's too many fishing ships on gold, but it's fine, it's not a big deal. Now we've got a little bit of a mass coming through. A bit scary, potentially, but it's fine. These battery towers will help clean it up, and once the upgrade comes in, we'll be perfect. A few more here. So like I mentioned earlier about the walls, the AI isn't actually attacking the walls. A few of them are attacking the towers. On the west side, they're attacking the gate, but it's not a problem. Another shipping post has gone, or trading post, apologies, has gone down. We're gonna put these onto wood. And we're gonna hire the Zealand Regiment, along with the Morris of Nasu's Tactics. We're also gonna bring out this Longbowman upgrade, and bring out some Longbowmen just to help out a little bit, as this gate is under half health soon. Okay, a shipping, a trading post and a dock is gonna go down, it's not a problem. Next we're gonna bring in the... Actually no, we're gonna bring in the fencing school upgrade, so we can mass up. Next we're gonna go ahead and buy Mercantilism. And that's it for now. Gonna bring out these Reuters. Okay, so we've repelled the west side attack. Next we're gonna bring out some units over here. We're being attacked over on this side. We'll just rebuild these docks later on, won't be a big deal. Actually, I'll do it now. Next we're gonna go with the Yeoman upgrade, and finally we'll go trading posts, just so we can secure our position. Gonna bring out these Longbowmen, just over on the east side. And finally, for our industrial age, we're gonna go with the engineer to get the 2 falconets. And we'll mass up some more. Okay. And once we get into the 4th age, we're going to go ahead and buy Fortified Outpost. It's going to be great for us. Perfect. Now our passive resources are coming in at about 5 per second of each resource, which is great. Next, we're going to go ahead and... Actually, no. We're going to save up for the horse artillery in the 4th age. And we're going to bring these units over into the western northern side to deal with those units. So far we're fine. There's nothing to worry about whatsoever. Just need to get some more villagers onto wood, but at this point we're amassing resources, so there's not much point to do so. We're just playing it safe at this stage. We're gonna get some more trading posts secured. And right now, we'll just leave it on XP, since we have some valuable shipments that are waiting to be sent. And at this stage, we're just waiting to get our trading posts back along with our docks. But I don't even think we need our docks at this point, so it's up to your own discretion. Because we have so many fishing ships, that's fine. We've got our 2 horse artillery, we're going to send them over to the southern side, over here. And we're going to go ahead and get that fortified outpost now. And we're going to send these units back over here. Now we're going to get the horse artillery like I mentioned earlier. And we're also going to buy standing army. And from here I believe we're pretty much good to go, apart from buying a arsenal. Yes. And finally, just for our last few shipments, we're going to go ahead and buy, or ship in some factory wagons. We're going to bring these longbowmen over to the west side again. There we go. We're going to get our longbowmen upgrade yet again. And at this point we're just going to buy everything because we can. You don't need to, of course, but we have the resources to do so. Now, if you took the deck like I showed earlier, with all the shipments in it, it's very musketeer and longbowmen related, so it'll help out those units in particular, but I like the longbowmen because they have really good range, We see now with the upgrade they have 27 rage, which is great for us. Now unfortunately we can't go into the 5th age, but it's no big deal since we're pretty happy with being in the 4th. I'm going to bring these units back just in case. Yeah, okay. We'll bring in another trading post. If we get raided, it's fine. And from here, we're going to upgrade the trade route, just so we get some more resources. Now, there's 2 trade routes over here. I am helping the AI slightly, but it's not too big of a problem, since there's only 1 AI per trading post. And finally, we're going to get the Prince of Orange. And so far, with just under 11 minutes to go, we're pretty happy at this point in time. I'm just gonna bring this factory wagon over inside the base. I must have missed it. Gonna bring these units back. Okay, we've got some raids coming up. I'll send these longbowmen over to deal with it. And now at this point, I'll just bring my explorer back in. And also, like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna go ahead and get that final barracks going. Just gonna get all these villagers on to help out. And we'll go ahead and get Bastion. I don't think it affects the gate health, but it might. Plus, it's not very expensive. It doesn't really cost us anything to try. Go ahead and bring these longbowmen over here. Okay, now masses are starting to build up. And now from here, we're gonna go ahead and buy this gold upgrade. But we will switch in a resource if we need to. And now from here, we're just going to mass up longbowmen. And you can see at this point, if you follow the deck and the upgrades that I bought from the church, we can get a whole army coming in pretty fast. And I imagine that the video might lag as well, so I apologize for that. So I believe this only works with infantry units, so you can't do this really for artillery or cavalry. It'll be faster with cavalry, but definitely not for artillery. And as I mentioned in the start, the resources are now quite a lot. I believe it's over 11 resources a second between these two markets, sorry. And then we've got the factories on top of that. Now we're making 4,000 gold a minute. And we'll also get improved buildings. And we'll send these longbowmen over here just to deal with that little army. Now we've got ships on the water after, well, 8.5 minutes or so. But it's not a problem, because we've dominated the water since the beginning, and we have so many resources stacked up that it's fine. Now you don't even need to send any shipments in at this point. You could send medicine if you're still massing settlers, but I don't think there's any reason to. And if you're low on troops, you could just spam out the longbowmen or the musketeers, where you prefer. Personally, I prefer the longbowmen just for their range. And at this point, it's easy sailing for about 8 minutes. Now, if you go ahead and do this in fast mode, just before you start the game, it will take less than 25 minutes, because the game timer is set to go faster. But if you're playing this on normal, it'll take the standard 25, and if you're playing this on slow, I have no idea how long it'll take. Definitely longer than 25 minutes. I'm not sure why anyone would do that, it just sounds like torture, so... I'm not gonna tell you how to play the game, but it's not fun. You won't have a good time, I'll promise you that. Now essentially this video will go on for another 7 or so minutes, but I believe you could just AFK at this point. If you followed the video up until here, I don't think you need to watch anything else. You're good to go. You could just leave the longbowmen or artillery or whatever unit you've got on your base. Just keep an eye on it, just in case. You never know with the AI. It could do something really funky. And of course, if you're bored, you could just go on raids towards the enemy base. Have a little fun time, massacring everything and everyone. Now the objective here is to defend, so there's no point in doing this, just if you're bored. So we're gonna bring these units over to the west side. And then we've got these ones on the east. And we've got a few just in base. In case any AI slip past. Now of course these units aren't great against artillery, as you can see, but there's so many of them massed up that it doesn't make too much of a difference. And although they can't outrange, oh no, they can't, yeah. So these longbowmen will get a extra hit in just before they get targeted, which is really good in the early game, in Age 3 whenever the AI starts pulling out AI. At this point you just do little harassments in their bases so that they do less to yours. Now just to look at the markets again, almost 10 resources a second, it just went up by 0.2, same over here. And we're making so much at this point. We'll set these to wood, because we can. We've also got a fort wagon we'll put in here. And settlers can't build forts, but with the hero, I'm trying to find the explorer. Here he is. If I place this over here. Oh, okay. I thought the villagers or settlers could help out. Never mind. You could also go with the longbowman card, where these units inflict more damage to buildings, if you want. But there's not much reason to, like I just mentioned earlier, so... So now that we are doing these attacks on the bases of our enemies, there's not much... we're not receiving anything, really, from the AI on our bases. So we could just push out for the fun of it. But I think the hardest part about this achievement is just people feel, how can I put it, scared almost in a way that they're going against 7 AI, but once you actually try it and just get into it, it's so easy. You don't need to be a good player for this. My macro, or micros, apologies, was terrible. There's nothing special going on here, it's just in the early game, you're dominating the water. Even with enemy ships out on the water from the AI, there's not much of really anything going on. I'm not being contested on the water, apart from these fishing ships, but we have so much food that it's not a problem. And we're making 12.5 food a second from each market. Now if I went, if I configured the factory to make food, it would be even faster. And now with 3.5 minutes remaining, we're a little low on army, no problem. Spam the hotkey a little bit. And in about 10 seconds we've got a full standing army already. Let's bring in these... okay, not that shipment. We'll bring in these 2 shipments. And it's lagging again, I do apologize. That'll be the last time I do a spam like that. Yeah, okay, so the villagers can't help with the forts, it's only the hero. Or the explorer, I should say. The main principle here of this guide is dominating the water in the early game, focusing on your battery towers, and then not contesting the trading posts, because if you start contesting them by building an army, I think you'll lag behind very, very quickly in terms of the resources, since you just want to focus on the water and getting these battery towers, just to secure these gates and any hostilities that come through your way. Now you see, if you get the shipments, I think it was improved buildings and bastion, I believe, from the church that we got earlier. It does help improve your gate health, but they also heal over time, which is awesome for us since we don't need to pull off any villagers from our resource gathering. Now if the battery tower does go down, it's not a problem since you can reclaim it. So how it works is if there's an enemy unit beside it, they can claim it, but they won't build it. You just have to reclaim it and then build it. It's not very expensive either. I think at most it's 100 wood, 200 wood, something that range. It might be 300, but nothing more than that. And now we've got 2 forts, which is great. I think with another card you can bring in 3 forts. So at this way you go really AFK. There's nothing that's gonna come through. even if all the 7 AIs come together right now and just focus down this one gate, they still have to deal with the forts, the battery towers, and this building itself is 33,000 health, along with militia to be called out, and militia from the town center. I assume if you're going for more than one town center, you're going to be able to get even more militia out, if something wild comes your way, which is not going to happen, but it's better to be safe than sorry, I suppose. Now we've got just over 1 minute remaining. We've successfully defended this headquarters. I believe from about halfway through the 25-minute timer, we were aware of that. And now the markets are almost 20 resources a second. Now, if you're also playing this in fast mode, this will go up higher. I think when I tested it in fast mode, I believe it was about 20 minutes. Or 20... No. Yeah, it was 60 resources a second, roughly, in the late game. So it's about 3 times higher than this. So you don't even need to dominate the water. You'll be fine in the early game. So you could really just AFK down in there. And this wall is weak, but it's not a problem. We've got 30 seconds remaining, give or take. 20 now. And yeah, this is how you successfully do the Alone Against the World achievement with the 7 hard AI and you being the sole defender of this little fort. Of these fishing ships. And that's it. We've won. So at this point you should get the achievement to pop up. Mine hasn't because I've already gotten this achievement. And yeah, from here, you're finished. View the post-game, see all the stats, and that's it. So this is the video. Thank you for watching, and see ya!